Hello. Yeah? Hello. Hi. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, hi everyone. Hi. Welcome to the Words from the Courtyard. As we can see, we are doing this poetry out in Earth. You will all be able to hear what is happening in person, and this mic is going to pick it up for the live stream that is happening on YouTube right now. If you are a reader, feel free to take a look at your YouTube stream after. This is your little pop thing. We're trying to do these monthly at the Fitchburg Art Museum. The Fitchburg Art Museum has been so generous to us in support of this program. And honestly, Fitchburg has made it so easy to showcase incredible talent. My mediocre talent is going to get everybody thinking. I want to start us off with a poem that I wrote tonight for you guys for coming out on this beautiful June day, and I call it my Fitchburg poem. In third grade, I was failing to understand multiplication and beginning to understand my tiny place in this giant planet. Awe and blossoming independence filled my childish heart as I packed an overnight bag for my first autonomous trip. Well, and my 70 other classmates. In a cavernous hall, they asked where we were from, and I said Fitchburg tentatively, knowing the reaction people usually gave to Fitchburg even before I was sure that 4 multiplied by 4 is actually 16. A pause before the counselor beams at me with enthusiasm that I will later realize is exaggerated. Wow, she says, that is the second hilliest city in all of America. I don't doubt her. It's too random and pathetic to be a lie. Not even the hilliest city, second best, as good as it gets. I try to smile, but I get it now. I'm proud of these roots. I'm proud of these legs that pumped as hard as they could on the cheapest bicycles that Walmart would sell and made it to the top of every hill that I needed to ascend. When the sweat hits your brow and drips into your eye, when every bit of energy is drained from every muscle, it is not going to matter that it is only the second hilliest city in the country. It is still going to be the most beautiful sight you have ever seen when you are looking at it from the top. Thanks, guys. Tonight's poets are, local-ish. And the emphasis on the ish is our first poet. I would say the unofficial heavy metal poet of Worcester, Renee Slovic. Come right on up. Guys, give it up for Renee.
Hi everyone, I'm Renee. I'm from Worcester. I met Laura at a storytelling event actually in Worcester where we both performed stories, and her story was centered around country music and mine was centered around heavy metal, so I think that's where that comes from. But I turned 40 almost 3 years ago now, and I wrote this poem after I went for my first mammogram. It's a kind of a female initiation ritual for, like, here you are, welcome to middle age. And I had a lot of feelings about it. So here's my poem. It's called Happy 40th Birthday, Enjoy Your Mammogram. Really, I can't ever remember a time when the comfort of my chest was at the forefront of anyone's concern. Not when I was 11 at the local department store buying my first bra and the stern lady in the low riding bifocals whipped out her measuring tape with the fervor of a dominatrix, ready to send me to my deserving punishment for owning visible nipples. Certainly not when the Wonder Bra ads of the late 1990s had me and all my girlfriends stuffing our inadequate boobs into underwire push-up torture chamber devices, ready to possibly implode into our ribs at any given second. Not that time Danny, in the grade above me, stuck his hand up my shirt while we made out and kneaded the lumps he found, like sorrowful old Play-Doh with too many colors that's become a dejected, dull mess. Indeed, not in high school, when that guy Nick stole a twisted, sexualized squeeze without consent in the middle of the crowded hallway, so I punched him in the jaw and spent the rest of the afternoon in the principal's office. Not during the first fitting for my wedding dress, when the seamstress chuckled at the strapless sweetheart neckline, saying, not to worry, she'd fill up the empty space with padding and no one would ever know that I couldn't fill it out. Or that time that I'd just given birth to a premature baby and sat holding his tiny body in the NICU. As a nurse appeared and without warning whipped out my mammary from the side of my hospital gown to give me an unwanted lesson in breast massage. Definitely not when those same surly nipples now leaked milk as I stood in Target, searching for my breast pads and holding my shirt as far away from my body as possible as the lady in the checkout made sure I knew that I had spilled something on myself. And surely, not when I turned 40 and went for my first mammogram, standing like a caged animal, helpless as the round flesh compressed, flat as a disappointing pancake that could just flake away if too much syrup was added in greed for sweetness. All right. This is one that I actually just finished. It's called Safe Words. I hit a pothole so hard that my soul leaves my body for a second. And the word fuck just flies out of my mouth, decorating the sounds of rubber battling against road. And then I realize that my toddler is nestled safely in his car seat, face first, taking in the profanity with a look of bewildered amusement, recognizing the noise of adult-only nonsense. I know that I'm supposed to tell him that something about not swearing, but I love these words. Like I love all other words. And the way they feel rolling off my tongue like an eloquent, forbidden language, exiting my lips in spite and despite of themselves, existing as an exclamation mark written in the air. So I say nothing and drive along like it's nothing more than another bump in the road. And maybe I will have a 4-year-old running through the park screaming, shit, ass, damn, fuck. But he will always know that all words, his words, are safe with me. So I like to, I'm a big horror movie and scary movie person, so I like to look at life a lot through that lens. So I wrote this poem and it's called Everything is Haunted. When you look at my face, you'll see the brown of my father's eyes and the curve of my mother's jaw, the laugh lines just like my Aunt Jo's, and the olive skin of all the Sicilians who have come before me. But in my bones are buried the memories of falling asleep to voices inside my room, loud uncles laughing at some unknown levity, the gentle grip of my grandfather's hand leading me through the grass to play catch, a flicker of sunlight beaming in through the blinds as I wake to the chirps of a caged parakeet, the walk home after the first day of kindergarten, fingers dancing lightly over the smooth leaves of a pink blooming bush, dipping toes into the raging ocean, feet still stinging from the molten sand during a city heat wave, the warmth of a freshly washed towel draping over my shoulder as my mother dries me off after a bath, the soft embrace of my father's arms as he steadies me on my bike after we took the training wheels off. Every archived moment, a monument to things which have delicately come and gone, ghosts of what has been and can no longer be, filling my skin with the specter of what I will become. And when I breathe, their spirits exhale in tandem, whispering and reminding, everything in you is also in us. Everything you see and think and feel is haunted. On the topic of being haunted, this is a little bit of a darker poem. It's thinking about what will happen to me after I die. And my husband and I have had conversations about, like, you know, do we want to be buried? Do we want to be cremated? So I kind of wrote this to him. He's never heard it before. So it's called Better Not Bury Me. When I'm dead, I won't care what you do with my body. I'll be too busy learning to haunt you, hovering in the ether and slithering through electrical wiring. I'll flicker the lights on and turn on the TV. I'll put on horror movies at Christmas time so you'll know it's me. You'll think about how I wrap gifts in red and green paper on the living room floor watching The Shining. This is how I want you to remember me. But for now, alive me wants you to know, better not bury me. I never liked dirt. I'm a city girl. An eternity underground is the true horror. Bugs, worms, things that burrow, rotting in a box in the confined silence, slowly waiting to become a skeleton, also drawn out and messy. You do not need to return me to the earth. I did not come from the earth. I came from my mother. She was a city girl too. Instead, set me aflame. I've been burning my whole life anyway. Molten beneath the skin, running too hot so everything else feels too cold. Sweltering and shivering all at the same time. Tending the burning of my heart into a hearth and sometimes a 5-alarm fire. It has been my life's work to stop myself from combusting entirely. What a relief to finally be consumed. For many years of my life, I was a horrible nail biter, like down to the nub. It was disgusting and painful, and I somehow managed to stop by just constantly wearing nail polish, but I wrote this in tribute to my bad habit. It's called Soho Purple. It is true. I had rotten, bitten down nails, chewed up around the cuticles, nervously gnawed at the mercy of my maw. Still, I bought the loudest bottle labeled Soho Purple, a shock of neon among the perfect pinks and boring beiges of drugstore dullness. A Pollock kind of application, dotting polish on the chaos of keratin, uneven and unsightly skin bits sticking out at ill-adjacent angles, but the blotched job becomes a mangled masterpiece. There is freedom to be found in the coagulated color. The violence of violets screaming to be seen from my foul fingertips, loathsome and well-loved, a bad habit on bold display, like a bright badge of dishonor. And this is the last one I'm going to share for tonight. I grew up in New York City, and one of my best friends lived in Jackson Heights, and this is just sort of a memory that I have of him. We were on the rooftop in his building, and we used to hang out there all the time, and it's called the Rooftop in Jackson Heights, New York. The blacktop beneath my feet, catching at the soles of my Converse, reminding me to maybe cling to this moment. Watching as you walk out toward the edge to peek over and dragging your fingers across the fading brick trim once built up like a castle, crumbling now in protest against the years that have beaten it to ruin. The tiny cracks crumble down into the places below. 5 floors of families carry on as always beneath us. Your grandmother somewhere conjuring smoke from a frying pan, making plantains the way she knew I liked them. That taste endlessly on my tongue, and never knowing if it was the salt stunting the sweet or the sweet slicing into salt. I catch your silhouette against the glare of the sun, lowering into the jagged backdrop of buildings against more buildings. Open windows filled with the lives of people we will never meet or know or understand. But up on this rooftop, we can hear their messy music as curtains billow outward, the faint words of a television anchor introducing the 6 o'clock news, And off in the distance, the 7 train clatters into 82nd Street with a metallic screech. Between us and the secret of these simple sounds, it is quiet and complicated and sacred and muddled, staring below, just able to discern the gum-stained sidewalks as passers-by look up into the vague abyss of our outline. 2 statues carved from the same cloth that will one day have nothing to do with the other. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for having me.
Oh man, Renee, that was such a great set. Oh my God. Something I really love about poetry in general and about poets who are brave enough to actually be open and authentic in their work is like, I'm kind of in love with Renee now. I feel like there's so many just experiences that like we all have and we all go through, and knowing that somebody else has gone through it and feels differently in a way, to me, is as comforting as finding a similarity. So thank you so much, Renee, and thanks guys for listening. Next up, like just one of my favorite people. If you guys have been coming to my events a lot, you've seen her poetry before. She lights up every room she's in, which is usually what they say to like people who get serial killed, but you know, we're hoping she's gonna stay safe. And truly somebody who does the most and the best for the people that she cares about, and everybody in this city is so fucking lucky because she loves Fitchburg like family. So guys, give it up for Sarah Beth.
Good evening, everybody. Hi, I'm Sarah Beth Wheeler, and I'm really glad to be here with you. It's an honor to share poetry. I feel like I'm with my friends. We're out, we're in the grass, we're at the museum. So I'm going to start with this one. It's entitled Call on the Poet. Call on the poet when the nation groans, and we will hold it like a mother's birthing contraction, peaking, pushing beyond the push in words at mics over loud and hush, but open. Call on the poet when desperation felt becomes something jarring in the soul, without ceasing and gasping for air in between the sobs that are ne'er described as weeping. Call on the poet when the war becomes the war that becomes the war, like a bookie always dealing, and we will carry the words of this hell for healing. Call on the poet when the world to which you belong is growing, and we will mirror you in the universe glowing, your beauty unmatched in the joy that you're showing. Call on the poet when the fear becomes too much and panic burns the skin, when shame opens your throat and slips itself in, when there is nowhere to run is where we begin. Call on the poet when the nations groan, and we will birth you a new view of unity, a world, this child born of lessons already known, where the seeds of compassion, warmth grow far beyond all the stones thrown. Yes, call on the poet. Thank you. So I'm starting off light. This is mastering vibration, light, and wave. Hold your hand steady on the talons of faith as you yield your will alongside so many, gravitating toward greater heights, sing the darkest depths of self, to face the dying chords of pain, playing songs in rote planes of existence over and again. But they sing the song of selves within, to each other, to the Godhead, to the universe, and back within to the seeker, tuning tremendous notes of the soul, mastering vibration, light, and wave. Let my body be the poem, washing over all other selves, neither denied nor ousted, but in uniform with all the gloriousness of a shooting star descending before you here now, flaming at last glance. Thank you. Thank you. This next one I absolutely love, so I'm hoping you love it as much as I do. I'm also a horror nut, by the way, just like you. I thank you for saying that, because people are always like, horror, and I'm like, no, it's awesome. I'm having a bad time. I watch a horror movie. So this is called hanging on the fringe. On the outskirts, because hemmed in never made much sense. Something loose in me has always needed a place to hang free, to feel the wind, the sun, the rain, to dangle from the weaver's thread unafraid, taken up in fringe delights and fantasies, delving into mysteries. Only the whispered words of the elders create light in me, so no, I will not be still easily. What I love, loves secrecy, bred of darker nights and the shadow of days. I love it when the edges stay frayed. Finger string fringe nocturnally. People get uncomfortable when something is loose in me, but I'm on the outskirts because hemmed in never made much sense. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here. Okay, Laura, I got one. You know this. This is my ode to Fitchburg, Massachusetts. I'm so happy. Like, this is called Ode to Fitchburg. I was born with this bedrock in my bones. I am a roots above the road type of gal. Show me your gnarly trunks, your dark, rich dirt. Green tufts of grass sprout above the windows of the car, like my granite soul exposed. I too have been in for use since before my youth, Fitchburg. I grew steep like these hills, they build strong calves. And you know the snow here? It only gets dirty as it comes, gray, the color of wet cement, Fitchburg. The view from the highlands, brilliant mountains in the distance, proving there's a top to your bottom. The quarries, like immense heavy thoughts, chopped, ripped up in the explosion of man, Fitchburg. Work here has always required strength and perseverance, and my spirit shines summer in these woods. The trees dawn fall as if everything is understood. In this land that sings a song my soul has always heard. French, Canadian, Irish rebel from Fitchburg. Yeah. I have so many. This is called kindness. They say kindness doesn't cost a thing, but to be kind requires a sacrifice of the mind. Kindness requires a gentleness of thought from a reservoir that can't be bought. Dedication to the delicateness of tender application, medication for the raging, a balm for the heart and the coarse, truth applied, not verbose or superfluous. Kindness is a gift that passes right through us, sending ripples of love, eradicating the shame we thought due us. On a cellular level, relief rushes in because kindness is where the healing begins. Okay, we're almost there. Okay. This is called She Who Weeps in the Deep. I hear weeping from the deep, dark black shadows unseen. What do you need, I ask this faceless face? To be witnessed, she says, and not to be replaced. This is always the first response of any inner part found or stumbled upon. I see you, I emanate, holding space with no demands, a place for grace. You are not alone, I say, I hear your tears. Comfort flows from out my soul to one who's held this role, so dutiful to task. Now believed, now seen at last. Thank you, I tell her, for the fortitude to curate this space throughout so many years, to care what I do here and to hold the grief of what happened there. Your strength is unparalleled in a world that is rarely fair. So weep in the deep dark if you need, and just know that I am here. And if you care to venture out, I have saved you a seat, a sofa, a bed, whatever soft thing you need for your beautiful head. I could even introduce you to the sun, the moon, my friends. You can see the wonderful things we've done. We've grown, we've laughed, we've loved, we've planted seeds, and yes, my dear, we too have weeps. But you are under no obligation to leave. I love you no matter where you choose to be. So thank you for trusting us to see she who weeps in the deep. Thank you. Thank you. They're all gonna fall out. Okay. Okay. We're gonna have a little pause for a second. I'm just gonna thank Laura. Can we thank Laura for setting this up while I do this? Yep. Just had to do that. Just had to do that. Okay. Okay. I am going to read and then I'm going to be done. And it's been an honor to share this time with you, this energy with you. I really appreciate your presence and hearing this. And this is entitled, I Saw a Poem. I saw a poem. She held herself. In essence, she was vulnerable with quake fire. I went delving in with her, folding and unfolding worlds for display, as if dancing with Epiphany happens every day. I saw a poem. She held more weight than paper and ink, than type and write, her boundaries breaking pages free from refrain. Dipping her desire in cursive, spreading it out on pages wild, meant to break the day and bathe the night. I saw a poem, and she was braver than any poem ought to be. Thank you.
Sitting and just like listening to that set, something I really always like loved about my mom, and like to me, like any just like person that, like has your best intentions at heart will like reach out to the best in you, and I really like feel like I could rip a phone book in half right now, Sarah Beth. Thank you so much. Our last poet of the night is somebody who is like number one. Obviously, he's a good poet, right? And he's also served our country, and he's also beaten cancer, and he's also been like a non-creepy guy that will give me a hug. And like genuinely just like a good person that again just like shows up, shows out, and has many of his poems memorized, which for the record is hard as fuck. So if you guys just want to give it up so hard for Alan Finnegan, he's our last poet of the night. Guys, give it up for Alan.
Well, hello everybody. Even you guys way back there. Like Laura said, it's an honor to be here to recite my poetry and share it with you. I've been writing since I was 21, off and on over the years, and I feel fortunate and lucky that I'm able to do this. So I'm going to start off with a poem called "The City Sleeps." And that came to me one night leaving work at 3 in the morning when I saw some homeless people sleeping on Memorial Drive. The city sleeps tonight, cold and hungered, in jaundiced isolation, while vagrant souls scour the dark and dingy corridors of misspent dreams and forgotten tales of paradise lost. How sweet youth displayed. Mute whispers cry in vain to be heard above the noise of vulgar madness, destitute, despair. It's such an atoning turbulent affair, and dirges drown the lost fleet to innocent pleas of dignity. Oh, the city sleeps tonight, but never gives up its dead. Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Oh, decadent fever, wake up! The dawn will soon arise. Thank you. So I did bring some stuff that I don't have memorized, and but I got a couple others there. So this is called Distant Shores. The child dreamed of wisdom he hoped to gain someday, but didn't want to venture for the price he had to pay. Lonely hearts dreamt for love not to die, while dreams on forgotten faces showed with hope and a baby's first cry. The rich man dreamt of freedom, trapped in monetary darkness from the things he could not see. The poor man dreamt of wealth and what he wanted to be, trapped in the consciousness of his insecurity. And as the old man dreamt of youth, lost in a moment's time, he saw those things that were and what he couldn't find. And then I sailed the rivers to the seas of things to be. I saw on faces passing the harrowed look of perplexity, and that light shone to those distant shores. This is called The Silent Scream, and when you're in the abundance of silence, you know it, right? So I wrote this. Listen to the silent scream, eerie, hollow sound, cold and desperate, raging madness, innocuously profound. Shudder in the doldrum's wake, an avalanche tide partake of the silence all around. Now a passion burning rendered, evoking touch that is tendered in the silent sound. Now hear the silent speaking, voices of a heart quickly beating, inner thoughts self-depleting, discovering the sense around. Hear the silent screaming, lonely in the night that's dreaming of wanting to be found. All right. I'll read you one of my nature poems. I wrote this on the 12,000-foot mountain when I was doing a 6-day hike through Glacier National Park. It's called Mountaintop Castles. Sweet jasmine fragrance breathes the air as Mountain Valley Springs awaken to dawn's morning mist. Listless winds drape the forest majesty where eagles fly, soaring among the clouds. And distant echoes of slumbering thunder deepens my soul. While shadows run free to play with the sun in calm serenity, there, on mountaintop castles, I become a babe in Mother Nature's arms, succulent to her life that surrounds me. Thank you. This one has a little trigger words. I wrote this several years ago after me and my sister had a conversation about people that go through trauma. I wrote it the next day because, the words never come to you right away, right? But when they do, you better write them down because it's what the universe gives you. It's called Requiem. You try to free your mind, but you can't escape those things inside you have come to hate, and the burden that you harbor slowly suffocates as you sink into infernal madness, but for the shameful sins and guilt long ago imposed upon you. Scars run deep and fallow. And the child inside still cries, still mourns, still prays, still hopes for someone left to hold you, to caress you, to love you, to comfort you, to heal your pain, to wipe your tears, to still your fear, to give you back your stolen innocence, to free you, to make you again, to become whole again, to put back the torn and shattered pieces left by the rape of your mind, your body, your soul. And the requiem of light, God's light, shines above you, waiting to take you home. I don't know how I'm doing on time. This is called A Bright Tomorrow. I'll just read it. That comes at the end. I got a few like that. When the time has come for me to go, when death calls out my name, I can only hope that I can say my life was not lived out in vain. I hope I did the right thing when faced with adversity, that I stepped up to the challenge, and when wrong, not be judged too harshly. I hope that there was purpose in everything I've done. Despite my faults and my mistakes, I blame myself, bar none. If there were ever any feelings hurt in the paths I crossed along the way, please know it was without malice or intent, and I hope you find your peace someday. I hope that I leave something good behind, that when I am remembered, it might be just and kind. I hope that you will know that I tried my very best, upon the peaks and in the valleys, throughout my life's contest. And when the time has come for me to go, when death calls out my name, please do not mourn for me in sorrow. Celebrate a life well lived, and know I always hoped for a bright tomorrow. Okay, I guess I can read two more? Couple more? All right. This is called This Thing for You. There's no use in contemplating, my heart has been waiting. It's just exasperating. You are so illuminating. And I just got this thing for you, this thing for you. There's no question about it, don't begin to doubt it. Seems like it's been a lifetime. I've been waiting for that lifeline. And I just got this thing for you, this thing for you, thing for you. Don't know exactly what I'm feeling, you've got all my senses reeling. Maybe it's a magic spell or something in the air, do tell. And I just got this thing for you, thing for you. Oh, don't ever be mistaken, can't you see? My heart is racing, anxiously awaiting. You're participating, and I just got this thing for you, thing for you. There's no use in contemplating, my heart has been waiting. It's just exasperating. You are so illuminating, and I just got this thing for you, I got this thing for you. All right. So if I have to have a signature poem, I would say this last one is my signature poem. When I wrote this in the mid-2000s, and my mother was the first one to hear it. God bless her soul. And when I told her what the title was, she kind of rolled her eyes and, chuckled a little bit, because that's what she did. But after I finished reading it to her, reciting it to her, she had tears in her eyes. And she told me how much she loved me and how proud she was of me. So, Mom, this is for you. It's called If I Could Change the World. If I could change the world to make it just a better place full of love and no more prejudice or hate, instead of fighting all the bloody wars, we'd be fighting for a better cause. No more poverty or disease, no more prison walls or boundaries, no more anger and no more fear. No more children crying tears. No more... oh, fuck. No more poverty. Ah, shit. Sorry. I do this all the time. It's when I remember, hold on. I got it on my phone. I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, shit. If I could... God damn it. If I could change the world. All right. Should I start from the beginning again? All right, all right. If I could change the world to make it just a better place, full of love and no more prejudice or hate, instead of fighting all the bloody wars, we'd be fighting for a better cause. No more poverty or disease, no more prison walls or boundaries, no more anger and no more children crying tears, no more anger and no more fear, no more children crying tears, no more lies, deceit, or pain, no more guilt and no more shame, no more wrong and no more hunger. We would help the weak become stronger. No more darkness and no despair, no more blame and no lack of care. No more racism and no more greed. No more sorrow and no more need. No more injustice or inequality. We would fight for the truth from sea to sea. If I could change the world to make it just a better place, full of love, no more prejudice or hate, would you come with me? And you, and you, and you, and you? Would you all come with me? To make that stand, as we travel toward the promised land, we'll plant the seed for the future bright, for all to see in the guiding light. If I could change the world. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, one more time for Alan, guys. One more time. That was sick. Again, like, it's the authenticity for me. It's the openness for me. Sitting in the grass, listening to artists is my happy space. As much as I appreciate the thanks, I'm just a crazy person sitting in the grass without the talented poets and my talented collaborator, Tyler. Can we say thank you to Tyler? Just Tyler, he's the best. Yeah, so just like thank you guys for doing what you do here or on any other mic. Things that we have coming up, we have Love Fest on the 14th. It's gonna go from 11 to like 2-ish, and basically, so like that same day, there's gonna be a UFC fight on the center of our fucking house, by the way. That is our house. So if they're gonna do that in my yard, then I can do shit in their yard too. So we're gonna have like a little like protest, like Love Fest. We're gonna have some free food. We're gonna have some entertainment. We're gonna have some workshops. Michelle and Digi, if you could stand up real quick. We're gonna have these internationally known artists and poets leading us on some workshops. So I don't know, if you wanted to have Sarah Beth stand up as well, she's gonna be doing some love letter workshops on the 14th. So if you wanna learn from these people from by whom you've been inspired. And then the last Thursday of July, we're gonna be doing one of these, but in City Hall. We might have a very special guest. Like, I hate to be that person who's like, oh, we might have, but like, it's literally so big, I don't even wanna fucking talk about it. But if it works out, have that day clear. 6:30 to 8, last Thursday of July. And I can't stress enough, I love you guys all very deeply and very personally. Thank you for being here. Have a good night.